Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. Today is September 14, 2014, 1:34 a.m., Birmingham, Alabama. Topic, the Harbinger warning, or may I say, 1 year from today, I believe America will fall. I believe the monetary system will go to nothing. I believe there will be a collapse of the dollar. I believe the gold will be confiscated, and I believe the only thing that you'll have to spend, if you're fortunate enough to get it, is silver. That day, 1 year from today, is coming. And it all ties into the Harbinger warnings that God has been given to America. Over the years, we've tried to kick him out of our country and our schools and our churches and out of our parks and out of the federal buildings. And we have done that along with killing at least 50 million babies. We've done that. The first warning came when the Twin Towers was hit by a foreign terrorist group. God allowed it, but it's designed to shake us a little bit and get us to come back to Him. Well, we didn't do that. Instead, and I couldn't find the name, I know it, but I couldn't find it, but a political official in the arena around in Washington spoke, and he spoke of Isaiah 9, verse 10. It says, the bricks have fallen, but we will rebuild with hewn stones. Hewn means we're going to cut perfect, heavy, good stones that'll be harder to break in the future. And the sycamores will be cut down, but we will replant cedars. That's a harbinger. That man that spoke those words spoke a harbinger, spoke another judgment to come upon our country. And what happened the day after that? A 777-point drop, 7% of the stock market, costing hundreds of billions of dollars to this country. Well, 7 years later, John Edwards got up as they were starting the Freedom Tower. He took Isaiah 9, verse 10 and did the very same thing, read it. And neither gentleman knew what they were really doing. But once again, he defied God. Well, what happened out of that? We had another stock market fall of over 700, nearly 800 points, 834, something like that. The end of that month that John Edwards spoke. But what else happened? John Edwards' life fell apart. And you all know the story there, where he had a girl in a room in a hotel and he was taking care of a love child somewhere. His world came crumbling down. And but he spoke another time. He spoke that, and what he spoke that day, which was Isaiah 9 and 10, that harbinger is going to hit us 7 years later. Johnathon Cahn, C-A-H-N, has a study on it called The Harbinger. I urge you to read or to listen to him. And what's going to happen? Well, to start with, the first capital of America was New York. The first spot where Thomas Jefferson or George Washington, rather, gave America to God was at ground zero. Did you know that? at ground zero where he stood in New York back in 1776, right in there, and read that out of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and dedicated our country to God. That's the very spot where the Harbinger hit. That's the very spot where God lifted his hand of protection from America. Now, we have another judgment coming among the few that's going to be between now and then because of what we're still doing with Kerry over there, fighting with Israel. We have abandoned Israel. So we have no hand over us today except by the Christians who come to God numerous times every day in prayer for God to protect us. I think a lot of things are going to happen. I think by by September 13, 2015, that'll be the 7th year from the time John Edwards spoke. We're going to get hit and we're going to lose the dollar. Our financial system will crash. China and Russia is going to come in and take the gold. And it's going to be more or less spoils of war for people. And we'll be defenseless to stop it. I think with all my heart that either by that date or before that date, God will completely lift his hand of protection against America. But to do that is going to usher in the Antichrist. He can't come until the Christians have been taken out. My opinion, somewhere between now and September 13, 2015, we may be taken out, but certainly by that time on 2015, specifically before September 13, we're going to be hit hard with a financial collapse that will make our dollar worthless. Guys, this is coming. And there's too many people. The Bible says too many times about the daughters of men and the older men having dreams and visions. And we are to spread these dreams and visions to everybody. We're to tell, because if we hold back and not tell you and warn you what's coming, then we have to answer for that. So I am warning you today, this is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen 1 year from today. Something bad is going to happen, y'all. Go again, Harbinger, Johnathon Cahn, and now there's several studies on it, and there's several other people, but he was the one that God sat down in a room and told him what he was going to do, and God did what he said he was going to do. There's two countries that was built and grew into or accepted God, brought God into their countries, Israel and the United States. Israel still hadn't turned over and gone and accepted Jesus. The United States did, but yet now we're kicking Jesus out. So we're in the same boat Israel's in. They're still getting kind of beat up over there. And we're going to get beat up here a lot worse than it has been. You're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. Guys, please take this as a warning. And Johnathon Cahn and other people, they will give you the knowledge and what it takes for you to recover from it and to get through it. Jody Wolf, Expoz.